sir with us here. Any professional organization does 5 things. That number 1, to build the confidence of the public in the profession. Number 2, to provide technical guidance, training and development programs for its members. To promote the development of the professional and the ethical practices. Number 4, to ensure members maintain competency and comply with rules, and also put a robust system of disciplining members. These are the 5 things any organization does. The charters are different, the mandates are different, and therefore the method of operations are different. But fundamentally, every organization is doing the same, these 5 roles. Now within this, the questions that have come up, let me address one of. I've been noting down the questions and the observations that were there. So I will immediately take the first question to, for example, to Gajanand Ram sir. He is the vice president of the organization of Council of Architecture. And one question which Goel sahab also asked and others have also asked: architects are asked to pay registration fee with municipal authorities, for registration with various municipal authorities in the country. Now, what is the right and the wrong of it? We all know that building bylaws is a state subject, and every state, deals with it in a different manner. I would ask Mr. Ram to, enlighten us whether or not this is the appropriate methodology, and what the council can do to take care of this issue.
साहब, आप हमें मौका दिया और आपने बहुत सारी चीज़ें एक साथ रखी हैं. डिफाइन रोल ऑफ काउंसिल ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर एंड डिफाइन रोल ऑफ IIA. ये पहले दोनों 2 बॉडी है. इसको इस ऑडियंस में जो भी लोग हैं बैठे हुए सबको समझना चाहिए. दोनों का रोल 2 है. दोनों का रोल डिफाइन करने के लिए किसी हाल में बैठकर हम लोग डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते. इसको डिसाइड करेगा कौन? एक COA का रोल डिसाइड करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया है, जिसको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मैंडेट है उससे उसका रोल में क्या करना है उसमें थोड़ा सा भी परिवर्तन आने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के पास है. IIA का जो आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन है, जो 100 साल से ज़्यादा पुरानी बॉडी है, उसका आपको रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट में है, सोसाइटी रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट में है, तो उसको हम लोग आपस में बैठ के कर सकते हैं. लेकिन COA का रोल को डिफाइन करने के लिए हम सजेशन दे सकते हैं कि COA का जो अभी है रोल, उसमें कौन सी चीज़ें हैं जिसमें हम परिवर्तन लाना हमको ज़रूरी है. तो आपके तरफ से, इस हॉल से, ऑडियंस से और आपका जो सोसाइटी है उससे एक पता चलना चाहिए कि अभी जो COA का रोल है उसमें क्या गड़बड़ी है या क्या एडिशन करना है. जैसे हम गोयल साहब का वीडियो कभी देखे नहीं है, लेकिन सुने हैं कि बहुत चर्चित उनके वीडियोज हैं और सारे लोग उनको चाव से देखते हैं और समझते हैं, लेकिन उनको क्या रिप्लाई देते हैं ये हमको नहीं पता है. इन्होंने जो 4-5 मुद्दे उठाए हैं उसका जवाब मेरे पास इंस्टेंट है. अगर कहें तो 1 to 1 का मैं जवाब दूं और उनको बताऊं कि काउंसिल उसमें क्या सोच सकती है और क्या कर सकती है. इस पर मुद्दे पर मैं बोल सकता हूँ. ये मेरा ऑनर होगा कि आपके जो सवालात हैं उसको हम जवाब दे सके, इसलिए 1 to 1 कीजिए. मैं 1 to 1 आपको जवाब देता हूँ. मैं अपने व्यक्तिगत अनुभव से भी देता हूँ और जो मैं एक प्रशासक के रूप में भी काम करता हूँ सरकार में, उसके ऊपर से भी आपको उन चीज़ों को बता सकते हैं कि क्या चीज़ें हैं और क्या होना चाहिए. चीज़ों को हाईलाइट करना ये बहुत बड़ी बात है और बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ में सर आप बैठे बात ही कर देते हैं. ऑप्शन आपको आज निपटते हैं सर. और मुझे ये ऑनर होगा कि आप मेरे सीनियर हैं, क्योंकि आप कहे हैं कि 61 ईयर्स आपका है, मैं करीब 60 पहुंचने जा रहा हूँ. मैं भी आपको SP दिल्ली से पढ़ा हूँ, थोड़ा सा फ्लेवर दिल्ली का मेरे ऊपर भी है और मेरे ऊपर भी अनुभव है उसका. मैं उसको बातें को रख कर आपको रख रहा हूँ कि सर आप देखिए चीज़ें क्या है. चीज़ें एक है कि पूरे जीवन में केवल चीज़ों को निकालना एक बहुत बड़ी बात है, लेकिन उसका साथ साथ में सॉल्यूशन भी देना, ये भी सर आप करता हूँ. आप सॉल्यूशंस दीजिए COA को, केवल आप ये न कहिए कि आपको ये कमी है। आप बताइए, मैं चूंकि पास्ट में क्या हुआ, चूंकि आपके पास इतना अनुभव है, पास्ट का सारा अनुभव है, मैं प्रेजेंट में भी 2-3 महीने से करीब वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के रूप में काम कर रहा हूँ। ऑनेस्टली बताता हूँ कि जो काउंसिल का आपको एक्ट एंड रूल्स में जो डोमेन होगा, उसके अंदर उसको बेहतर सोल्यूशन निकालने की आपको वचन देता हूँ सबके सामने, और जो आपका चीज़ होगा उसको उस लेकिन रूल्स एंड एक्ट। ऐसा नहीं कि भाषणबाजी करने से नहीं होगा कि मेरी तालियां मिलेंगी कि ये सारा कुछ कर देंगे कल और मैं कल नहीं कर पाऊंगा, लेकिन एक्ट एंड रूल्स में जो प्रोविजन है उसके अनुसार मैं करने का प्रयास करूंगा, जो मेरा टीम पर होगा उसमें। नंबर 1, जैसे आपने कहा कि समाचार पत्रों में बिहार में ये निकला है, सर मैं भी क्योंकि बिहार के बगल में झारखंड से हूँ, समाचार पत्र में जो निकलते हैं मेरी भी नज़र उस पर रहती है, कुछ उसमें सर आपका थोड़ा सा करेक्शन करना है, क्या नहीं सर, जैसे आप ले लीजिए इस पेपर को देख लीजिए, उसमें वैसा नहीं फिल्टर वगैरह के बारे में बड़ी बढ़िया सर हम एडिटर से बात कर लेंगे, ठीक छापा है आपने कि नहीं छापा है उसको बात कर लेंगे सर, लेकिन वैसा चीज़ नहीं है जैसा आपने कहा है। हाँ ठीक है, उसको हम लोग कर लेंगे सर। दूसरी चीज़ है कि आपको क्या इसमें लिखे आर्किटेक्चर बटे सीनियर मेंबर्स के लिए कुछ सवाल मेरे पास है, क्या आर्किटेक्चर के विषय के खिलाफ कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए कि नहीं? हर कोई कहेगा कि कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, कौन कहेगा कि कार्रवाई नहीं होनी चाहिए, लेकिन कार्रवाई किस स्तर से होनी चाहिए? क्या काउंसिल को पुलिसिंग का पावर है? क्या IIA को पुलिसिंग का पावर है? कोई आपको कोई शहर में अगर मिसयूज कर रहा है आपका टाइटल, राइट, तो टाइटल को वहाँ के लोग ही उसको उठकर बोलेंगे ना कि ये फलाना आदमी कर रहा है। नंबर 1,
अशोक जी प्लीज आप नहीं ये इस तरह की डिबेट हम नहीं कर पाएंगे। आई थिंक अशोक जी प्लीज वी विल अलाउ टू रिस्पॉन्ड।
इसमें सर आपको जैसे UGC का पे स्केल की बात आपने कहा है, हम लोग भी कल भी आपका इसी नंबर हम लोग बैठे हुए थे सोच कर बैठे कि आपका पे स्केल सबको अच्छा होना चाहिए, तभी आपको शिक्षा मिलेगी। जब टीचर्स को अच्छा आपको पे स्केल नहीं होगा तो हम उससे अच्छी शिक्षा का बात कैसे कर सकते हैं? नहीं कर सकते। इसलिए हम लोगों की बात में भी है, जिसको 20,000, 25,000, 30,000 एक टीचर कभी कभी इंस्पेक्शन करने में पाए तो 3 नहीं 4 दिन वो पढ़ाता है, आज यहाँ जाता है, सुबह वहाँ जाता है, तो 1 हफ्ते में वहाँ जाता है। तो ये सिचुएशन से ओवरकम करने के लिए हम लोग को पूरे फ्रेटर्निटी को इसमें सोचना होगा कि कैसे कर सकते हैं। इसलिए आपके पास अनुभव है, आप अनुभव के साथ साथ में आप इसको सॉल्यूशन बताइए और उसको हम लोग समझ सकते हैं। ठीक है सर। दूसरी चीज, हाँ बताइए प्लीज। नहीं तो हम यहाँ पे जितने सारे सर आपने साथ साथ में कहा कि जो सवालात है आपके पास में 1 to 1 ही बोलिए कि क्या है, उस पर हम लोग कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि आपके पास में जो ख्यालात है सबका अलग अलग है। आप बताइए कि क्या है इसमें।
सर एक प्रश्न का मेरे ख्याल में यहाँ पर उत्तर दे पाना
I think our Vice President is here. So there are certain questions from the audience. So Mr. Tuteja, you please give the mic to him.
सर शाह साहब
हाँ जी,
एक
सर।
काम करें तो एक बारी सबका ओपिनियन पहले समझ लेते हैं, उसके बाद ऑडियंस से ले लेते हैं। I would now request Architect Lalichand Zakarias to tell us what he feels is the role of IIA here, because we've heard about a lot of myths, so maybe it would be good that if you could clarify that.
Thank you. We're talking about 2 different bodies in our country, IIA and COA. 2 different bodies are actually for 2 different purposes. IIA is an association of architects basically, and it should be looking after the interest of its membership. And COA should be looking after the profession of architecture as a whole in the country. But unfortunately, what is happening today is the Council of Architecture is just sitting as a jurisdiction over those architects and who is registered with the Council of Architecture, and they are just protecting the title of architects. IIA should be strengthened to support the Council of Architecture. What is happening is the membership of IIA is just 15% of the total number of architects registered to the Council of Architects. To strengthen COA, we need to strengthen IIA. And IIA is a 106-year-old organization. And why? even today, members are not walking into IIA office or they want membership immediately after they pass out. They become a member of IIA. It is not happening. I should thank the stalwarts of IIA, the leaders over this 106 years. They have put together this organization and held it together. For this, that itself is a big thing. But over these years, what we were doing is, we were doing programs, events to increase our visibility, which was actually required. But we were not reaching out to our membership. We are not reaching out to those people who are not members of IIA, who are outside IIA. We are not doing programs or reaching out to our young architects, the students. We have a lot of issues among the young architects, the students. IIA is not coming forward till today to give a mentorship to these young architects. See, for example, if some young architect comes out of college, if he'll be very lucky if his father or one of his parents or uncle is an architect. But he'll be mentored by these people. But a person who comes out of the college does not have these people around him. Who is going to lead him? Who is going to guide him? There is a big gap. He takes this profession, nobody is there to advise him. So, IIA should come forward and put mentorship platforms across the centers, sub-centers, the chapter level and the national level. They have to give a hand-holding to these youngsters. Also, IIA has to reach out to the policymakers, the government, to be influential there. We are not doing it today, but we have to do it if we have to sustain as an organization. IIA has to build its own brand. Somebody was talking in the morning. It's very necessary that IIA has to build its own brand and attract more members into IIA. We will be effective and efficient only if we can increase our membership to at least more than 50% of those who registered with the Council of Architects. And I would say the Council of Architecture and IIA should go hand in hand and complement each other rather than, I have heard, now I don't think there is any difference, but earlier period, there were issues between IIA and COA. I think that is the way forward and we will take it forward like that. Thank you.
Thank you. So, a statutory body called Council of Architecture and Association of Architects called the IIA. While we are discussing this myth or reality, we have with us architect Sudeep Chaudhary, who has a very different perspective, he says, on what these two organizations should be doing. So I invite Sudeep to share with us in 2 minutes what he feels the role of IIA and COA should be.
Good afternoon. I'm Sudeep Chaudhary and just very quickly telling you where I'm coming from. I have practiced architecture in India. I practiced architecture abroad. And I'm currently into technology adoptions in the architectural and construction field. And I've been watching how all these bodies and fraternities function both in India and abroad. And as I see right now, everybody is very much focused on the details as why this is not happening, how should that happen, why should this not happen. And we have forgotten the fact that we should learn ourselves from other professions also. And one of the things which I appreciated from Mr. Misty's initial presentation, it takes on a little bit from the medical profession of a doctor and a patient, which is very important to understand that if that is a corollary, then how does it affect us? Now, to continue this discussion about COA, what is the role of COA, what should I do? Let me ask you very simply, if there was no sanctioning of any building plan by an architect, mandatory by the government, or by law. Does this exist? Does this COA exist? Does the IIA exist? They don't exist. Just think about it. But supposing that wasn't there, we are just like anybody else, an engineer or maybe a BSc graduate, we're doing some work somewhere, some administrative work, some sales jobs. Do we have a forum like this? We don't. And in fact, sorry, I didn't catch your name. Lalit, he actually kind of concisely said what the role of COA and IIA should be. IIA should be the one which says that this is the road we should take, these are the goals we should do because this is the ground reality. As somebody said that they're working on the ground, they're getting calls from small towns, the architects, they're having their problem. That's the IA's job. COA's job is merely to make sure how to facilitate that under the constitutional, legal framework and all of that. Right now, why is this confusion happening? My take is that because we have not made that distinction. And why we have not made that distinction? Because anywhere in the world, I've said this multiple times and Mr. Goyal has knocked me down many times over on various forums. The registration at Council of Architects means that you are eligible or you are qualified to practice as an architect, as take on the responsibilities of a structure or something that is built for human settlement or whatever. You cannot become a COA registered architect just because you have a BArch degree. I have not seen this anywhere in the world. I've worked in so many locations. They do not allow you to practice. You can work under an architect, that's fine. But then after a certain period of time, you go for a registration, you sit for an exam, you show your credentials that this is the work I've done, I've gathered that much of experience, I'm now responsible. Because once you're responsible, you're accountable. Right now, when you're talking about so much internally, problems of why there are no architects in this government body, why there no such thing and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that how many architects have been sued by the government saying that you built a building and it didn't work or some calamity happened. Some lives were lost. In Upar cinema, this thing, did the architect get hauled up? And if not, why? Because we have diluted ourselves. We all want to, I've been into the education, I've taught also at sometimes for some time. And students are just, soon after their degree, they just run to the COA to get a registration. Are you qualified to even build a house? Do you have the necessary resources to run a firm? No. That comes over experience. Yeah, please.
Very volatile questions to pose to the council as well as to IIA, to the audience. And what you are saying, answers lie in the future. And I think if given time, we will come back to that. But you also talked about taking cues from other professions. So we have with us Professor Arunava Dasgupta, who is the President of Institute of Urban Designers of India. And I would want you to come in and tell us the urban design and architecture, they are professions which are working together. What do you feel is the role of a professional institution